So Geno360, I want to debate with you about something that isn't moderator related, but unfortunately I can't think of anything. I mean, there are subject matters that are not directly related to moderators, but they always lead back to moderators because moderators are responsible for all the ills. I mean, maybe not all the ills literally in the world, but they do have a firm hand in it. I mean, short of AIDS, there's pretty much nothing moderators are not doing to make the world worse. And even AIDS, I could probably connect moderators to, given enough time and enough article reading. So, in reality, there's no way to avoid the moderator issue. But I can give you the benefit of the doubt in that I won't try to make it all about moderators. For example, privacy matters. There's been a lot of talk lately of Undertaker Freak and Mr. Zion going back and forth about privacy complaints. And I'm not even going to get into the moderator side of that where they can just falsely flag privacy complaints versus it has to be the person themselves that files the privacy complaint. And either way, YouTube doesn't really care, doesn't look into it. They just strike down videos and things like that over privacy complaints. So the issue here is about privacy in and of itself. Do people have a right to privacy? I do not believe that people have a right to privacy in the sense that they normally think they do. You do not have a right to be anonymous, is what I'm saying. But you do have a right not to be exploited from your information. In other words, you have a right not to be, used and abused through your personal information. And that is the reason why we hold anonymity and privacy concerns to such a high degree. It isn't so much that we care if people know who we are, just what people do with that information. So the argument shouldn't be that we have a right to privacy, but that we have a right not to be wounded. We have a right not to be raped and abused because of some kind of information that is available to somebody else, over us or over somebody else. So, for example, like these privacy complaints, it should not be because somehow we're finding out who Mr. Zion really is, where he lives, his details, his blood type, shit like that. That's not the reason Mr. Zion should be concerned about a privacy complaint. He should be concerned about it because we are using that information to hurt him. That is the issue with privacy. It's not so much, the privacy in and of itself. I don't care if people know who I really am. But I am concerned about how people will use that information, as they've done to Fematheist. So, clearly there is something here, but everyone's ignoring the fact that they're using that information to hurt other people, and just arguing in favor of ultimate privacy, and you're never going to get that. You are never going to live in a world where people are not going to know who you are if they don't do even remote research. Just a little work, and you'll know everything about anyone. That's the way the internet works. It shouldn't work that way, but it does. It's very easy to find out everything you need to know, and it's even easier through institutions such as Facebook, which is more and more trying to attract people into this honeypot to make you vulnerable, and then turn around and say that they're trying to protect you from cyberbullying and cyber terrorism because someone said the word nigger or faggot. No, that's not the cyberbullying. The cyberbullying is when someone uses your Facebook to stalk you, or to get you fired from your job, or to spread evil rumors about you that causes you to break up with your partner, and things like that. That's cyberbullying. Not saying something mean outright. And, people should know better. People should they're fucking full-grown adults. They should know how this shit works. They're not children. I expect that kind of mentality from little 5-year-olds that don't know how the world works and just think that mean equals bad. But we, as the adults, know better, and we should look more into details about this kind of thing, and we don't. And that's what gets me so aggravated. So, in essence, I'm saying that we don't have a right to privacy, but we have the right to laws that protect us from people abusing our publicity. So, you can disagree with that, you can agree with that, but that's really what it comes down to. That's, at least in that regard, my fight against moderators. It's not so much that I care that they have my IP address, that they have my information, but that I know that they will use it against me. At the very least, they will use it against me to ban me, and shut me up, and coerce me into not being able to use that website anymore. So, that in and of itself is cyberbullying. That in and of itself is using my private information in a malevolent way. So I guess that's all I have to say.